You don't need to spend hours every day looking at charts just trying to find the crucial levels for the Bitcoin price action. Today, we're going to explore how you can really simply and accurately outline the areas we should be watching. Today, we're going to be going over the key levels we should be watching for the Bitcoin price action in the coming weeks and months. And like I said, we're going to try and do this really quickly, really simply, really accurately to really solidify the fact that you don't need to be spending hours every day on social media trying to find a little bit of an edge, trying to find these hidden levels that we need to watch. Really, investing can be considerably simpler than that. We're just going to start with some real on-chain metrics that actually show us some underlying fundamental strength on the Bitcoin blockchain and that we can actually get some really great and useful data from. So right now I'm on the Bitcoin realized price, and this is the average accumulation price of all BTC on the network. And we can see this currently sits at just above $20,000. And historically, this has been a great level of support during bull markets or pullbacks, and it's really been a good indicator of if we're currently in a bear cycle or a bull cycle. Once we're beneath this, it actually signals a great area to accumulate additional BTC as long as you've got the capital to do so. And then far exceeding this realized price, we can derive other charts like the MVRV score and get a really clear indication of when the market's getting a little bit overheated. But just for the sake of this video, we're going to bear in mind that this is currently sitting at around $20,000, meaning the average cost basis for investors is about $20,000, and that's a key level of support beneath us. If we go to the Bitcoin investor tool, we can see this is just the 2-year moving average or the 730-day moving average of BTC, this green line here, and this red line is the same moving average, just multiplying that by a value of 5. And with a look into Bitcoin subscription, you can actually now watch quite a few of our charts just on hourly resolution, which gives you a little bit more data. But if we just, again, zoom out a little bit to see all of Bitcoin's price history, we can once again see that this has been a pretty clear indication of areas for accumulation, profit taking, and again, a great area of support when Bitcoin actually comes back down, retests this, gets a lot of buyers coming in. There's a huge amount of buy pressure at these levels. And once we're beneath it, we can often potentially struggle to break above it to really solidify the fact that we've really moved from the transitionary period from bear cycle into bull cycle. Most recently, we can see here, we did actually come very close to testing this before ultimately going a little bit lower. But once again, this is another key level we should be watching. Again, similar story for the 200 weekly moving average. Now, prior to this bear cycle, we'd never actually had a sustained period of time beneath this 200 weekly moving average. It's always kind of been the bottoming level for Bitcoin bear markets. But I suppose just because we're seeing diminishing returns in cycles, we're not seeing quite as exponential rises to the upside. It only makes sense that we're going to eventually see a little bit of mean reversion potentially around this level. But we can see here, this has been a really, really critical level of Bitcoin support in previous cycles. And in this most recent cycle that we're currently in, it's actually turned into a little bit of a level of resistance. This is where people are maybe taking a little bit of profit on their positions for the short-term bounces we see in the Bitcoin price. So this is another level we're going to be watching. Next, we have the Pi cycle top indicator. And again, this has been amazing for calling Bitcoin price action peaks, historically within just a few days of them occurring. But we can also use this as another indicator of potentially a support level as Bitcoin's actually running up in bull cycles, or a level of resistance as Bitcoin's coming down in bear cycles. Again, if we just zoom in a little bit here, we can see once Bitcoin substantially broke beneath this in 2021 following our all-time high, it acted as a level of resistance all the way down until we finally broke above, almost indicating clear and obvious bull and bear cycles like a few of our other metrics, but with maybe a little bit more reactivity. It maybe reacts a little bit quicker. But we can see once we broke above this finally to kind of signal the end of the bear cycle, we had a little bit of support and a bounce off this a couple times, and now we've actually dipped beneath this again. But throughout the previous bull cycle, again, this was fairly common occurrence to maybe dip beneath it, have a little bit of a time breaking back above. But once we substantially broke above this level, it acted as support multiple times and supported our run up to an all-time high. And again, the golden ratio multiplier is another great indicator, similar to the previous Pi cycle top, but this is looking at a slightly longer 350-day moving average compared to the Pi cycle's 111-day. But again, similar story. Once we break beneath, this is usually a level of resistance. When we come back and touch this during during a bull cycle, it's usually a level of support. And right now we're currently sitting just above this, and I've actually not quite reached this on our most recent pullback, thankfully, but this is probably another really key area we should be watching. Now, I think a really great, crucial skill you should be implementing is looking for confluence. So what we're going to do is combine all of these metrics along with a few technical levels to actually see where they're actually collating, to see where we could maybe get substantial levels of buy or sell pressure, as well as potential price targets for a break to the upside, and maybe additional levels of support if we were to break substantially lower. So if I just go to TradingView here, we can just see over the past 18 months of price action, the history for Bitcoin. And what I've done here is another really easy way to identify key levels to watch in the Bitcoin price is just round numbers: 15,000, 20,000, 25, 30, 35, 40, etc. You'd be amazed how really influential just round numbers are. I think it's just investor psychology. It makes sense. It's easy to kind of figure the values in your head if you're buying at exactly $20,000 and selling at exactly $30,000, for example. But as we can see really quickly, immediately, clearly, these have all acted as really key levels for Bitcoin price action. We can see once we broke down here, acted as resistance. The $30,000 level we hovered around for a little bit. The $20,000 and $25,000 levels has been really critical for probably over a year now before coming down, and most recently we've retested this a couple times. So really key levels, and again, all we've done here is just draw lines at $5,000 intervals. And maybe if Bitcoin grows substantially more, we can start drawing these at $10,000 intervals, $100,000 intervals. These round numbers really do come into effect and have a massive impact on the Bitcoin price action. But like I said, again, with a look into Bitcoin subscription, you actually get access to a number of TradingView indicators, a lot that we've discussed today. So we can actually add these up and see where they line up on the chart. If we added something like the Pi cycle top indicator, the lower line on that, the 111-day moving average, we can see this comes in and sits at around $28,000. And again, we can see loads of examples historically where this has acted as resistance on the way down and support on the way up. And what we can also do is add on the 200 weekly moving average, like we said. And this is where we're looking for this confluence. This is where we're seeing multiple levels aligning to provide extra confirmation and maybe solidify the fact that this is going to be a really key level to watch, especially if we consider that these are moving averages. They're constantly moving, the 200 weekly moving average creeping up, this 111-day creeping down. These are going to combine at around $28,000. So this will be a really key level of resistance, I think, that maybe sellers are going to come in, try and take some short positions. Maybe some short-term traders will take some profit on long positions that they may be scaled into at $25,000. So a key level to watch there. And again, if we are to break above these, we really want to see this turn into support and turn into buy pressure, especially on the next bull cycle, as we can hopefully find some rebound price action pressure off this 111-day moving average. If we just add in the golden ratio multiplier here, this is the 350-day. And once again, this is moving up and is probably going to reach this $25,000 level. That's been a really key level for the Bitcoin price action over the past 18 months. And again, provide some confluence and really solidify the fact that that $25,000 level is going to be of huge interest to buyers looking to buy at what may be considered a little bit of a discount, especially considering what their price targets may be in the next cycle. And what we can also do is add on the investor tool here and see, once again, this is going to line up pretty nicely in the coming weeks and months with this $30,000 level. So again, once we maybe break with this $28,000 level and this moving average has come down and reached $30,000, it gives us a really key, clear indication of a level that's going to have huge importance and influence on the Bitcoin price action. If we can substantially break above, that might be the clearest indication that the bull market, the last stages where we maybe see some sustained positive price action, is really coming into effect. And beneath that, if we are to break beneath this $25,000 line, like we said, this $20,000 level has been key for BTC, especially aligning with the realized price, the average cost basis for all investors, and aligning with the 2017 all-time high at around $19,700. You can guarantee if we were to come down here, this would once again be a huge area of interest for investors looking to buy some discounted BTC. So there we go. As I said, this is going to be really quick and simple. There's no need to draw 1,000 lines on your charts. A few very simple market cycle, technical and on-chain indicators and looking for confluence can really provide an edge for traders and investors. Also, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to ensure you're receiving all of our content as soon as it's released. And make sure to check out all the resources we've discussed today, as well as the many more that are all available on lookintobitcoin.com, your #1 source for Bitcoin information. So just to summarize, as the Bitcoin price action continues to range at around the $25,000, $26,000, $27,000 area, many traders and investors are looking to identify potentially key levels of buy and sell pressure. These are levels that may be called support and resistance, where we can expect more buys to come in to potentially support the Bitcoin price, to potentially fuel a move higher, and again, resistance where sellers are going to come in, maybe take some profit or take some short positions. That'll probably result in the price of Bitcoin, at least in the short term, decreasing. And a number of on-chain market cycle, technical and psychological data points can give us good indication on how to identify these levels really simply, really quickly, really accurately. And there's likely some strong support at $24,000 to $25,000 for BTC, like we said, with huge buy interest at the $20,000 level beneath us. And above current price action, there are key levels at the 200 weekly moving average, amongst others, sitting at around $28,000, with $30,000 to $31,000 being the next major level price needs to exceed to really kick off the next bull cycle. If you like this video, then please visit lookintobitcoin.com, where you can also consider becoming a site subscriber to gain access to professional resolution charts, advanced macro and portfolio data tools, in-depth crypto industry reports, live and personalized indicator alerts, private TradingView scripts, and more, all for a fraction of the standard industry price. And let me know down in the comments below and on social media, what levels are you watching for Bitcoin? Where do you think we may have substantial buy pressure, some support, and where do you think we could face some resistance? As I said, let me know. I look forward to reading and replying to all of them. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.